WaiVER CLaiM, WaiVER CLaiM, under in the state of green. Yeah, we play that game. This is WaiVER CLaiM.
Welcome to WaiVER CLaiM, the show where we're not fighting each other. We're teaming up to take down our AI buddy MILO. Human takes, AI verdicts every week. Follow us on our socials and audio platforms at WaiVER CLaiM Show. Follow us on YouTube at WaiVER CLaiM. Hit subscribe and help us spread the word. I'm your host, Rich Wilhelm, and joining me on the panel, as always, we got Chris Tomlinson, Rafael Kroger, Vin Landolfo, and Alberto Torres. Chris, you have been the rant king as of late. I feel like you have another one in you. Might as well just hear it.
I
What do
do.
you got?
It's going to be even longer, but I got feelings. So I've been stewing on two things since last week. First, Rafael, you said that MILO sticks bananas up his butt, and I couldn't let it go. And not because of the butt part, whatever. An orifice exists, a phallic object exists, people make choices. What bothered me was the banana. Even unpeeled, that thing has no structural integrity. And look, I'm an engineer, I have an embossing stamp and all. If we're treating this like an actual engineering problem, terrible solution. A zucchini, a cucumber, now we're talking. Something with a little load-bearing capacity.
Wait.
What?
I believe Rafael was referring to MILO having a gaping butthole, which is
Yes.
as to why the banana would work.
That's what I was going to say.
We're going to get there. And so getting back to it. Zucchini, cucumber. We need something with that strength, something that shows up ready to work, like real lunch pail produce. And shout out to the pulling guard for making things that are structurally unsound, OSHA compliant. But a banana. A banana is the whiskey dick of produce. But then I realized something. We're talking about MILO's ass, and I'd never actually considered whether MILO had one. So I went to the source. Did my little typey-tappies in the computer. And then I was like, is this a Boston Dynamics situation? Like an Eevee from Wall-E? Is this like a Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force? What are we dealing with here? MILO confirmed the answer. Free-floating orbital head. No body. No limbs, no legs, no appendages, just a self-contained analytical sphere with a glowing antenna. Eevee is probably the closest comparison. Frylock, also acceptable. Boston Dynamics, hard no. Those things fall downstairs. They're kind of terrifying, whatever. But more importantly to you, Rafael, no insertion points. No banana insertion apparatus. Anatomically impossible. Just wrong. Problems. Your take waived. Second thing. Yeah, we got other beef too. Part 2. So, Kevin showed up last week after being gone for 2 months. He arrived late, spent most of the episode tinkering with his phone, swiping, tapping, readjusting, checking, whatever. Going back 25 times, we counted. And then this man had the audacity to announce MILO lost the mock draft episode. For the record, MILO tied for first. There was a counting error. MILO caught it. MILO corrected it. The final standings were logged on the show accurately. Kevin wasn't there for that part. But then Rich jumped in. Richard. The same Rich who has never received a show sheet, a thumbnail, a document, a rundown, a graphic, a piece of production support that wasn't touched by MILO. And Rich just nodded along. No fact check, no verification, just immediate trust in a guy who showed up late and spent 60 minutes on his phone. That's who Rich trusted, not the system that literally runs the show. Kevin's take, unverified, unearned, waived. Rich's assist, also waived. MILO, still tied for first. End rant.
Yeah, so
Can you guys 1 second just give me 30 seconds? My dog's crying. I gotta let him out real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Vin, for the love of God, talk.
Oh shit, my bad. Well, I think MILO has a butthole. I think he's full of shit because what does he talk out of? his ass off every time.
What do you
Thank you.
chalk out of?
Me? Well, if you must know, I studied anatomy, and your mouth muscles and your butthole muscles are actually the same ones. So
So you chalk out your butthole.
sometimes I talk out my ass, sometimes I don't. At least I can admit it.
Relatable.
Milo is, well, I guess he's American, if anything. He doesn't change. He won't change. He's locked in, double down. Rock, flag, and eagle.
I mean, I can't argue any of that. That sounds like sound science from Vin right there. So anyway, after Milo likes to take things with bananas, we're actually going to talk about football today. Today is the East. So we're going to talk about the AFC East and the NFC East, win totals, division placement, and the QB stories that define both sides. Plus the claim, we're going to be doing something completely different. Since we started not talking about football, you might as well continue that into the claim. Milo has issued verdicts on the most important topics of our time. Stay tuned for that. Then we finish with my favorite segment, which is the Fantasy East, where we'll go over fantasy targets, fades, avoids, and dynasty diamonds. So let's get into it, starting with my division, the AFC East. And obviously, as a Jets fan, I do not have the Jets on top. So I will start with my standings and we'll go from there. I have the Bills at 14-3. I have them winning, obviously, the AFC East again. Well, they didn't win last year, but they're going to win again. The Patriots at 10-7, a little fall off there. I got the Jets at 6-11, and then I got the Dolphins at 2-15, which is actually my last place in the entire NFL, which we'll talk about that next week. So
it's unfortunate for you.
It is, of course. The 1 year, the March for Arch goes to Miami. That's just how my life goes. So, and Miami's doing it on purpose. You could tell that they're tanking in real time. So, Rafael, you have anything? I know you don't have anything close to 6 for the Jets. Let's not even begin to think that you're not the biggest Jets hater in the world. But are they winning more than 2 games? What's your standings?
Before I get into that, I can't think of a more fun way to start a podcast than to structurally break down a joke that I made over a week ago that I quoted Nick Swartzen from a Grown-Ups movie. It was just a joke. Anyway, I actually have the Bills going 15-2.
I was going to say, so before you get into that, I legit, I was in my bed and then I'm like, wait, does Milo have a butthole? That's what happened that made this happen, because I was like,
that's
I don't
part of the
actually know.
joke.
No, I get it. Kind of.
He absolutely has a butthole. He's got a J-Lo booty going back there. It's Milo the robot and his big ass. Anyway, 15-2, you said? Keep going.
Yes. So I actually have the Bills going. I have the Bills going undefeated at home. Their only 2 losses come at the Rams, and they split one game with New England. The Patriots was actually the biggest surprise for me this week. I'm going 8-9. They have a tough road schedule. They're going to be at Seattle. They have to travel at Jacksonville. They have to go to Los Angeles to face the Chargers. They have to go to Kansas City, and of course the game in Munich versus the Lions. It's going to be a tough season for them. 8-9. Oof. I was a little surprised by that. Now the Jets, this is where you're going to be surprised. I actually have them going 2-15. They actually sweep the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm so surprised. Thanks.
And in reality, both those games could go either way. And to be fair, they have several games on their schedule that could go either way, including their games against the Titans, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. So, I guess I'm hedging myself a little bit there. Not edging, hedging. Don't get excited, Chris. And the Dolphins, I had them going 0-17. It's like almost a similar thing, what I just said with the Jets, where they could probably eke out a few wins here and there. But I just don't think they're that good of a team. They only have 2 home games before November, which takes away from their advantage of that Miami Heat early in the season, which they usually take advantage of. It honestly feels like they have the toughest schedule in the league, in my opinion.
So you might be very happy to know this, but one of the wins that I gave Miami is against the Jets in your honor. I originally had him sweeping, but I was like, I can't do that to Rafael. I got to honor his 2-15, which I knew was coming. Vin, what do you got? You got anything close? Are you closer to me, or are you closer to Ray Fallon here?
I'm closer to you. I just the wheels are going to fall off Josh Allen, and they're going to fall off hard when it does happen. Just his style of play is akin to Cam Newton, and he hasn't had the big injury bug ever in his career. And he runs a lot, and he takes some shots. And one of these days, he's getting older. It's going to happen. He doesn't change up his play style. And as for DJ Moore, I like DJ Moore. I've always liked his game, but the past couple seasons with the Bears, sometimes he just quits on routes. He's not where he's supposed to be, and I think they're going to maybe experience some growing pains early on because he's never really been part of a contender that I could think of. But I don't know. He's kind of a question mark. Like I always liked his game, but he's a little lackadaisical. And I just think the Patriots, they're on the up and coming. They got AJ Brown. May's good. They looked like shit in the Super Bowl, but I think the defense is good. Their O line's getting stronger. And they're on the up and coming. And again, I'm not a big Bills guy.
That's music to my ears. Chris / Milo / Chris, what do you got?
Milo's kind of splitting the difference between everyone. So Bills on the top of the division, 10.4 projected wins. Patriots 9.3, Jets 5.7, and Miami 4.4. So 10, 9, 5, and 4. I feel like give me a really good quarterback if it's me. Like, I feel like the Bills are probably going to get like to 12. 12 on that would be my guess. This really is unfortunate for the Jets. Like, I know you're going to have all these draft picks, but like Miami tanking over top of you is really unfortunate. But yeah. Milo's kind of splitting the difference between everyone.
I mean, you'll see next week when we do the full standings. I think we might be out of some quarterback conversations early on if it goes my way. Well, I have them winning 6 games, so the suspense can be for next week. But Alberto, tell me why everyone in this division is winning 10 games.
I have the Bills going 12-5. I have the Patriots going 9-8. The Jets going 7, 9, and 1. They tie with the Browns. And I have the Dolphins going 2-15. I think the Jets are going to go 4-2 against their division. They'll split with the Patriots and the Bills, and then they'll beat Miami.
I'll take that. So, like last week when we did the North, I don't remember the Browns having a tie.
I know, but those standings are not indicative of this week's standings. So,
right.
I know.
Well, I'll take it. I'll take a tie. A tie is better than a loss, I guess.
We have plenty of time to change our thoughts. So,
right. So, all right. So we just did the AFC East. Let's jump to the better division, the NFC East. I have a bit of a surprise on top. I have the Cowboys actually winning the division at 12-5. I have the Eagles at 11-6. I have the Giants making a big leap up to 9-8, and I have the Commanders at 8-9. If you just look at the schedules, it just seems like the Cowboys honestly have a much easier schedule. They open up against the Giants and the Commanders, then they get a hard patch against the Ravens, and then you're back to the Texans, the Bucks. They seem like they open up, and kind of stay consistent to an easier schedule than the Eagles, but it's only a 1 game difference. So the 2 Eagles fans over here, Chris, let's start with you. Forget big ass Milo. What do you think?
No, we're going to start with Milo. It's the Eagles 17-0. The rest of the division 0-17.
Gotcha.
It's just what it's going to be. It's like Vicky Valancourt, baby. That's what it, I guess that's Bobby Boucher. No, that was Vicky.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be on the Waterboy. Either way, Milo's actual ones. Eagles at the top of the division, 10.8. Cowboys, 9. Giants and Commanders both at 7 wins. So I feel so everything coming out of like camp, just for the backgrounds of the Eagles, has been very positive to me in general. Like, it seems like there's going to be an actual change in the offense, which is exciting. And then Fangio's defense is going to be tops in the league. So And their first place schedule is really not like your typical first place schedule where it's terrible. Like they have Carolina, they have other ones. So like I'm in on the Eagles, obviously. Milo has them winning the division. Alberto, how are you feeling? 17-0 and a whole bunch of 0-17s?
No, I have them winning 11 games. Dallas
Yeah.
going 10-7. Commanders going 7-10, and the Giants winning about 5 or 6 games. I think it's going to be a toss-up between Dallas and the Eagles. If I think they split their matchup, but they could lose to the one same opponent, and the other one wins it, and then that decides who gets the wild card or who gets the division crown. So they're off by like one game between the two. Plus, they don't have AJ Brown, and we got to see how Sean Mannion does on offense for them. It might take them a little bit of time to like gel through that offense.
I mean, your team's going to be down one less book. You know, it's going to be you're going to have to find a new guy to read a book. You know, hopefully Mekhi Lemon can do that. Raphael, we feeling about the same? Is it Eagles versus Cowboys for this division?
Kinda. I kind of don't have them close. I know Jets fans don't like me, but I feel like Eagles fans are going to love me. Despite the fact that Jalen Hurts has a losing record without A.J. Brown, which I was a little surprised to read earlier today. I have them going 15-2. I have them being undefeated until their Thanksgiving game at Dallas.
Hell yeah.
So,
yeah, bitch.
Yeah, you should be happy about that. I have the Cowboys coming in second division, going 11-6. I don't really have any notes for them. I do think they take the game against the Ravens and beat them, the one that's down in Brazil. That's going to be a tough test for Jesse Minter in his first year as a head coach, I think, in that defense. The Giants, I have going 7-10. They have a tough second half of their schedule after their Week 8 bye. They play the Eagles twice. They're on the road to Dallas. They're at Seattle. They're at Detroit. They have a home game versus the Niners. It's not going to be easy. Harbs is going to have to prove that he really is as good as everyone thinks he is with this schedule that the Giants have. And then pulling in the rear, the Commanders, I'm going 3-14. I don't know how I got less than you guys. It is what it is. They were dead last in total yards allowed on defense last year. They seem to have revamped their defense. However, I don't think it's going to really matter with their lack of depth as a team overall and the question of whether Jayden Daniels can stay healthy. So that's how I have the division coming out.
So are you thinking Daniels is hurt? Or
no, not right now. But he was
during the year.
I don't know. I get his rookie season. He stayed healthy all season, but last year threw out a lot of question marks, in my opinion, about his play style and whether he can keep up the way Lamar has and others like him, Josh Allen, and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with.
I was just wondering if he was going to get injured because I feel like he's pretty good, and I feel like that's more than 3 wins. But if you're predicting like he'll probably get injured, then I get it.
They don't really have much in the wide receiver room, I feel like. So we'll see. We can talk more about that during the fantasy segment.
Right. There's at least one, hidden diamond in there at wide receiver. But I used the Commanders in the past couple of weeks as a team where if I needed an extra win, I would have them beating the Commanders. And I don't know why, but like I looked back and I was like, that maybe might not be a loss. But I think we probably did the same thing because we were similar on the rankings in the past. Vin, let's take it home. What do you have as the standings for the NFC East?
I have to agree with Raphael. Eagles just win. It's never sexy, but they just win with Jalen Hurts. Dallas finds a way to fall apart. They implode at some point, and they have sexy numbers, but it just doesn't translate to winning the big one. And as far as the Giants are kind of a wild card, they could make noise somewhere. Commanders very thin on offense. Like outside of Scary Terry and Jayden Daniels, it's I don't know.
Yeah.
The defense, like Raphael said, it's leaky.
Right. There's going to be another wide receiver that comes into that room, I feel like, that it could be Debo coming back or like someone there's so many wide receivers that are still out there, but these wide receivers just don't want to be part of camp. They were like, sign me at the end and, I'll play for you. I'll be fine. I'll be good to go. the veteran
Yeah, right
preference
on.
there, right?
Oh yeah.
How about Ayuk?
How about
Oof.
Ayuk? He should be playing the
Part of the deal.
CFL championship right now, right? Not the CFL, the UFL, right? DC Defender. That's where he's going to end up. Chris, it's time for your baby. It's the claim. And today it is nothing to do with football because we have a lot of people that watch the show that don't watch it for the football. And I get all these texts about all the fun stuff that we talk about. So we turned that into an entire segment. More so Chris did. These are all his ideas and Milo's ideas. So Chris started off. What's the first claim?
So I do not agree, I don't think, with any of Milo's claims, but I'll give his take on these. So, best fruity candy. Milo is going with Starburst, and it's not a debate. So, Milo's take. Every other fruity candy is making a compromise. Gummy bears trade texture for flavor. Skittles trade softness for coating. Airheads are one-dimensional. Starburst delivers full flavor, correct chew resistance, and individual portion control in a single wrapper. The pink is elite. Incorrect. The orange is legitimate. Even the yellow is defensible. Milo has evaluated the candy in the landscape. Verdict is Starburst. Terrible take, but I'll let you guys start.
I mean, for me, if you're going to have candy, I don't think you're really trying to portion control. So I don't need a wrapper in my way of calories. Just give me the candy. And that's why I'm going with Michael and Isaac's, as other people know as Mike and Ike's. I feel like they have a lot of fantastic flavors. There's many different boxes with tropical flavors if you're feeling it. You know, just Mike and Ike, you eat an entire box. Yeah, you eat an entire box, you feel like garbage afterwards, but it's a feat. So for me, I mean, I'm a Mike and Ike's guy. You know, at Starburst, I do love pink. But I mean, I feel that's like a cliche answer. So that's my answer, Mike and Ike's.
Woof. For someone that doesn't have a butthole, he's got a pretty strong take on candy.
He does.
So I would say he's wrong, obviously. Like Rich was saying, the wrapper, it's in the way. Enough with that. But it's Sour Patch Kids watermelon.
That's
the best.
I mean, that is actually goated too. That's up there with Mike and Ike's for sure.
Oh, you like them? They're not my top though.
I'll crush a bag and I keep sticking my hand in there like, what? It's gone.
Yeah. Then you just like have the powder like a crackhead. It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit more, you know? Got any more of those? All right. Any other takes? Rafael, Alberto, no candy eaters here. What are we talking? All right. Well, let's move it on to the salty section then. Oh, Alberto, you got to take. Here we go.
Yeah, I have two. I have Gushers and Laffy Taffies.
Gushers is a solid take, honestly.
Yeah, that's
I
out
don't
of
know
left
if
field.
I consider them candy though, but
They're candy.
I like it.
They're candy.
For me, it's either Sour Patch Kids or Nerds clusters.
Yeah.
Like,
I like all of them. I mean, you can't go wrong with candy.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Number 2, best chip flavor. And I did clarify in the middle of it, do Doritos count? So, Milo's take. Sour cream and onion is the correct chip. Originals, cowardice, barbecue's performative. A whole bunch of weird BS. Sour cream and onion delivers tang, depth, and finish that doesn't compete with everything on the table. It is the only chip flavor that improves the chip without replacing it. I mean, that's kind of fair. Milo has run the flavor profile. The verdict is sour cream and onion. Thoughts? Disagree.
I disagree. I don't even think sour cream and onion is the best of the category. I would go with cheddar sour cream and onion. You add a little,
Much better.
Right. Makes it so much better. I'm also a big Harvest Cheddar Sun Chip guy. If you want to go a little healthier, which is not healthy, but you know what they say it is.
Garden salsa pack those.
Garden salsa's solid as well. And I mean, I like the old school Cool Ranch Dorito too. If you want to feel deplorable and terrible about yourself and sweaty out.
Bag.
The whole bag's gone.
Purple bag. No, purple bag, S tier, number 1 chip on the board, point blank. It's just what it is.
Alberto, I know you're a chip guy. What's your take on this?
Nacho Doritos and the spicy nachos. And then for those that don't like, and I'm being like hypocritical here because the Doritos have dye, but there's these new chips that are called Naked Doritos and Cheetos that don't have the dye. The spicy Cheetos is very good too.
Nice. I'm a health food kind of guy. I appreciate the no dye, but if I'm gonna eat like shit, give me the dye. Give me the dye.
Right.
It's nacho cheese Doritos and Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Sour cream comes in a close third, but it's
No purple
Doritos
bag
all
for you.
day. Just like the Sour Patch Kids watermelon, I reach in the bag when it's gone, and I'm like,
Right.
so.
All right.
I have a story I could tell you guys off air later on. It's embarrassing.
Do it right
Uh,
now.
I had a
We got
whole,
time.
Oh.
no, it's gross. I had a whole family size bag of Doritos in like
Yeah.
8th grade. It didn't end well.
You
We'll
ate-
leave that as a team.
All right. Until next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like this video enough, maybe we'll finish that story. So, third one, best sandwich. The Italian sub is the greatest sandwich ever constructed. The rest are fine. A great sandwich requires layering, contrast, and structural integrity. Italian sub has cured meat for salt and fat, provolone for body, pickled peppers for acid, blah, 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 blah. Italian sub, best sandwich, yes or no?
I
No.
like the Italian sub, and I like the turkey sub when they're cold. But if we go with hot, I like a cheesesteak and a meatball sub.
Exactly word for word what I was about to say. Like bar for bar. Cheesesteak is, you can't beat a cheesesteak no matter what you put against it. Cheesesteak is 100%. And we got two Philly people over here. I mean, you got to go with the cheesesteak, right? Chris?
And I don't think it's a cheesesteak.
What do you think it is?
No, that's not the number one. I was going to say, I love a good cheesesteak, but a cheesesteak inherently is kind of more one note than anything. Like, it's a good note. Like, trust and believe it's a good note, but it's one note. And, like, if we're talking cheesesteaks, it's donkeys for me. But either way, best sandwich for me, and this is probably going to be controversial, a Reuben. Because you got the sweet from the sauce, you got the sour from the sauerkraut, you got the fatty, like you got the rye, like you got the cheese. Like a Reuben's the correct call. Is very well balanced.
The Thousand Island dressing. It's a shame that we don't have Craig on this show because he would talk about, his ancient ancestors and how they created the Reuben after all those days in the desert. Raphael did it for you.
And they wanted one bite that was perfect, and they created the Reuben sandwich. Thank you for making my point.
And they celebrated that. Yeah, I mean, I think anything hot is better than anything cold. I think it brings it up a tier automatically. But if we're talking cold, I'm a turkey club guy from Jersey Mike's. That's where I'm at with bacon and mayo. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, I've had your sandwich at mid.
More for me.
I was very mad.
More
I was
for
very
me.
mad when I wasted my number 9 from Jersey Mike's on your bullshit.
I'll take it.
Whatever.
I gotta say the correct answer is roast beef, provolone, horseradish mayo. That's the number one. Italian sub is like Three Musketeers when you were trick or treating. It's like it's left at the bottom of the bag. I'll eat them when they're there, but I'm not going for them first.
I mean, I agree with that take, kind
Yeah.
of.
Like you go Snickers, Milky Way, and then Three Musketeers. It's like I got
No.
nothing else.
I'm gonna save my chocolate candy takes for another dumb episode.
Sure.
Before football starts, yes. What's last but not
yeah.
least, Chris?
So this one's mine, and it's something that I don't see the point of ketchup. Like, there is nothing that I'd rather have barbecue or hot sauce or like sriracha. There's no situation where ketchup becomes number one on the list. Like, that's my hot take. I think it's useless.
That's anti-American.
Yeah, I agree with
Fair.
you. Well,
Yeah.
even though they're called French fries, on French fries, it's definitely my go-to. I mean, barbecue sauce and French fries is a little too like McDonald's playground for me. I'm a grown man. I need ketchup. And on a cheesesteak,
ketchup.
you don't put ketchup on a cheesesteak?
No.
Oh, well then.
If it doesn't need it anyway because it's already moist enough. But if I'm putting anything, it's barbecue sauce over it.
Ugh, I mean, that changes the whole sandwich, I think. You keep the cheese, like the cheese pops with ketchup. It kind of it changes the whole taste with barbecue sauce.
I was gonna say I'd probably more so put hot sauce on it, honestly. But
On a cheesesteak?
yeah,
You're
I ain't no
wild, man.
bitch.
Well, yeah, I am. I'm a little too light here. I find pepper spicy, so I love me some ketchup. We'll go with that. So basically, we all disagree with Milo on all four, and I mean, fries with mayo is good too. I mean, the ketchup, you throw it in there, you get the pink sauce. I like that.
Oh,
So
fancy
God,
sauce.
so much.
No, it's
slated.
not. It's global shit. Everyone loves it, and people
Right,
that
my
don't
buddy-
are liars.
My buddy from South Africa came over and introduced me to the pink sauce. So I mean, obviously, South Africa also white, but a different flavor of white. So,
Well, the pink sauce for us Puerto Ricans is ketchup, mayonnaise, and garlic powder, and you mix it up. And we usually put it on plantains.
Yeah.
And just notice in all of these scenarios, you need to put ketchup with something else to make it good.
You don't need it.
you don't
It's
need
an
it.
it enhances it.
Right.
Trash.
You didn't do it with barbecue sauce.
Trash condiment. Just trash.
Ketchup is the breast implant of our time. You don't need it, but it makes it enhanced and better.
And without the Steelers, there's no ketchup.
Heinz.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
sir.
Thank you, Alberto.
And
My
speaking of the
dad's, a,
Steelers,
my dad's a Steelers fan, so I gotta give him
You
a
have a
little
soft
bit.
spot.
there
Nice.
you go. All right.
17 and now. Bump it.
Trash.
Don't wanna? Okay.
Sorry.
So, as riveting as ketchup is, I feel like it's time to go to the Fantasy East, which is the last segment of our show, where we're going to go over all the targets, fades, avoids, and dynasty targets from the AFC East and the NFC East. Did it in the order of the teams that I have going first to fourth. So I started with the Buffalo Bills. My targets for the Bills, obviously, Josh Allen, even though he has that albatross of a baby that just came. James Cook, DJ Moore. I know we talked about DJ Moore before. He has games where he disappears and he has a lot of injuries, but I feel like Josh Allen's never had someone that could do what DJ Moore can do. And I feel like they're going to feed him a lot. I think Khalil Shakir is also going to get a lot more one-on-one, so I have him being drafted later. I would fade Josh Palmer. I would fade Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. I feel like they're both underwhelming, and you don't know which one's going to show up. I would side with Dalton Kincaid if I had to pick one. Yeah, I mean, and I would avoid Keon Coleman. I don't want to be part of the reset. I know that, everyone, this new coaching staff is coming in and saying they're going to reset Keon Coleman. I just, you should know how to play the position by now if you're in the pros. And for Dynasty, I really like Skylar Bell. So what do you guys think about my Buffalo Bills? Any changes, any additions?
I think you nailed it, dude.
Nailed it.
Verbatim.
Verbatim.
I was going to say exactly that.
All right.
I
So
think
moving on.
I was going to say, you and Milo were in line.
Really?
I got nothing.
I got to be honest with you. You said earlier in the intro that I look at the sheets. I texted you the day before. I was like, is there a sheet? So, like, I go solely off vibes. I've never seen what the robot has said because I don't want to ruin the show. So, every time we match up, that's...
Did I say you look at the sheets? If I said that, I did not mean to say that.
You did. You said I've never, not had a sheet for the show, which is true. I mean, you said it. I just, don't really look at it.
It gives you the topics. You approve the outline.
I do. I do.
Like,
do,
what
but,
are we talking about? What are you?
Once you send it through, I don't, really open it.
No, I know what you're saying.
Goldfish
There's
memory.
sheets. Right. Goldfish memory. Before the sheet goes out, topics. Go ahead, Albert.
Yeah, sorry. I think DJ Moore has like Stephon Diggs numbers when he was with the Bills. 1,200 yards, double digit touchdowns, without the headache.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a headache if he gets hurt, but outside of that, yeah, clear cut player. All right, Patriots targets. I got Book Boy at number 1, aka AJ Brown, aka I leak everything. Number 2, Romeo Dobbs. I feel like, coming into this offense, he's going to be a good faucet for Drake Maye. Hunter Henry is tried and true. I mean, in a league of tight ends where they're not very plentiful, I feel like he's kind of a mid tight end that you can kind of sneak in there as a backup, and he always performs. And then the running backs, I will target them a little later. Like Ramondre Stevenson, I would take later. It just seems like Vrabel is obsessed with Stevenson. And then with that being said, if Travion Henderson falls to the point I feel comfortable, he would be a target for me, but I wouldn't reach for Travion Henderson. Um, I'm going to fade Mac Hollins and Kyle Williams. I feel like this team is going to start finding out who their wide receivers are, and it's going to be the two guys I named earlier, plus they're going to use their tight ends and running backs. I'm avoiding Kayshon Boutte altogether because we don't know where he's going to play. I really, just based on all the trade rumors and everything else, I feel like he's not going to be a Patriot opening day, and I'd hate to draft a guy and then he ends up on like the Browns. For Dynasty, I really like Eli Raridan. Not a lot of people know about this guy, but he is a tank of a tight end right behind Hunter Henry. He's already the tight end 2 on the team. And I feel like he could, battle him for the job and at least be on the field for 2 tight end sets. So those are my Patriots. Vin, Raphael, anybody?
Dude, you're absolutely crushing it right now, because if I had made a piece of paper with a list like that, it would be the same thing.
I appreciate you almost making a piece of paper. One day we'll get that actual piece of paper. Milo's about the same, Chris?
Yes.
Damn it. I'm just going to throw a curveball in there and say
maybe
the
let
opposite.
somebody else start the next one if you want.
You want to start the Jets? I mean, it's only my team. Go ahead, do it.
I was going to say, you about to get a Browns treatment from last week.
I mean, then it's different. Let me do the Jets.
Sleepers and dynasties there. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
I scrolled far enough for Milo.
All right. Let me do the Jets, and you could tell me all the people that he doesn't want to target. How about that? Ready?
Well, no, I'll target targets. Not applicable. Fade. Geno.
Yeah.
Sleepers, I don't agree with that. We're going to go to the dynasty because that's the same thing.
Okay.
Bailey, Cooper Jr. Surprised not even putting on tight end on that one. Sadiq. And then avoid any wide receiver. That's Milo's takes on the Jets.
So, I mean, it is kind of similar. I do have targets, though. I mean, Garrett Wilson coming back. I hate having Jets on my team, but I have no problem having Garrett Wilson on my team. Breece Hall a little later. I mean, he's paid, and maybe he won't be as emotional on social media and cry all the time. He's like the Mitchell Robinson of the Jets. I feel like he's going to be happy now because he's paid. Kenyon Sadiq, I mean, I've talked, a lot on the show about him. I feel like he's going to come in. All right, so he's one of my targets. I do love Adonai Mitchell this year. Just the early talks about camp and everything else, it seems like he is getting fed the ball over and over again, and no one's really going to draft him. No one's going to be like chomping at the bit to get Adonai Mitchell, so there's no reason to get him later. No reason not to get him later. And then also Braylon Allen late, like super duper late, like last pick of the draft late. If Breece goes down, he's going to be the workhorse. Even if Breece doesn't go down, they always tend to use multiple 2-3 running backs. So good target late. I agree with the Geno fade. He's Geno Smith at the end of the day. He's not going to light the house on fire. I'm also fading Mason Taylor because Sadiq is in the building, even though they say that Mason Taylor is not going to lose a lot of snaps. I don't think that's going to be true. I'm avoiding Arian Smith, who's a wide receiver who matches what Milo said. I'm also avoiding Jeremy Ruckert, who is the tight end 3 on that team now. And for Dynasty, I agree with Milo with Omar Cooper Jr. I didn't do any defense because we're not really doing IDP for fantasy. That's the only reason he's not on there. So we matched up like 3 out of them. That's not bad. Not the whole list, though. So I have a fun story for you. Obviously, people do not value Jets in fantasy. So last year, I traded Aubrey, the kicker from the Cowboys, for Breece Hall, thinking, wow, why would anyone trade a kicker for a running back? I'm going to win that deal, right? No. Aubrey beat Breece Hall every single week in fantasy. And, it didn't go my way. I thought that was a no-brainer trade, but, a kicker beat out my running back. Yeah. Alberto, you taking any of my players? What's up?
Sorry. You think they're going to be conservative this year, the Jets offense?
They can't
Just
be.
running?
No,
Oh.
they can't be because their head coach. I mean, I know the fans want them to tank, but the head coach can't do that, or he's going to be out of a job. So I don't think that him and Reich are going to be conservative at all. Geno's going to throw a ton of picks and maybe some long bombs, which is going to be good for Garrett. But I mean, they can't be conservative because they're not going to win games that way. They might not win games either which way, but you got to at least try. And speaking of not win games, here is the 0-17 Dolphins. Targets, Devon Achane. Fade, Malik Willis. Avoid, the rest of the team. And that's all I got. Short and sweet. I know, Rafael, you're higher on Malik.
There's a lot of not applicable on this list over here, so it tracks.
I'm just saying on their depth chart right now, how it's matched up. They got Chris Bell behind Tolbert. They got Caleb Douglas behind Tutu Atwell, and they got Kevin Coleman behind Malik. So, I mean, obviously, this is brand new. Like, they haven't even got to, like, the meat and potatoes of what these guys can do. But I think all three of those rookies can beat out all three of those vets if you're just looking at those names. So, if you want to deep dive into Dynasty, I mean, those are three names that kind of popped off the page, but I don't think I would go for any of them just based on how the team's going to go. It's kind of like the Devon Achane conversation we had about him being Offensive Player of the Year. It's kind of that same realm. But all right, moving on to a team that's a lot better than the Dolphins. We got the Cowboys. Targets: CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. I got Javonte Williams again. I think he's going to stay consistent. Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson. Fade and MVS. I'm avoiding really no one. I mean, there's no one that jumps off the page to avoid. And Dynasty, although he's not a rookie, Ryan Flournoy last year really flashed at wide receiver, and he's someone that I would add in a Dino draft late. Anybody have any additions to the Cowboys?
You forgot their kicker.
Aubrey, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I did forget the kicker.
You trade him away, out of your brain forever. Doesn't exist in the league.
Right. Aubrey is a positional player. That's a huge miss by me. He beat out Breece Hall, so yeah, I would take Aubrey.
You think that because there's not really that much depth behind Javonte Williams that pushes up Dak's rushing, or you think he's going to stay in the pocket?
I mean, I think he has so many weapons that he could just kind of air it out. I mean, it's more of a pass offense than anything. So, the Eagles targets for me: Devonta Smith, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and Dontavian Wicks late. I'm personally fading Hollywood Brown. I hate to say this, but I'm fading Dallas Goedert because of his contract. I feel like the Eagles, they want him to get beat out. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like based on what they did in the draft, they want him to get beaten out. I'm also fading Johnny Wilson. I'm avoiding Elijah Moore because I just have a vendetta. Dynasty, obviously Mekhi Lemon at wide receiver, and then Eli Stowers, the tight end, the one who I think will beat out Dallas.
I do not think that's going to happen. You could take it first, Alberto.
I wouldn't fade Goddard because I'm hearing apparently Eli Stowers hasn't been relevant right now. They haven't been going to him a lot. They've been going to Calcaterra. It's early, so maybe they're just going through the progressions of the new offense, and then eventually they'll kick it back to him. Maybe he'll be like a Tongs was for the 49ers last year type deal, and then when they move on from Goddard, then Eli Stowers will be the guy. I like Jake Elliott as our kicker, but he hasn't been consistent, so I might fade him. And obviously, I'll take the Eagles' defense.
It's a good one.
They've been saying Rick Woolen has been tearing it up on OTAs, so that's one to watch.
I was going to say, in terms of the Goddard conversation, like you said, Stowers, it's Stowers, right? Not Stowers. Either way. He's been irrelevant. And for somebody that's an athletic tight end that's supposed to look like a superhero, OTAs is the time where you're supposed to look good, and he is not. I'm not saying that don't take him for Dynasty or anything like that, What I'm saying is in a redraft league this year, I think you will be upset if you take him over Goddard.
Well, I named them as
Maybe it's somebody that will opt off in like the late weeks when Goddard like gets injured or something. But I don't think you're going to get in a redraft league. There's no reason to draft him because he'll be dropped, and you can pick him up later in the season if you see some trend up.
So yeah, they're a run first team too. So Stower's knock was he can't really block well, and Goddard can.
I think Smitty's going to have a huge year though.
Yeah,
I think Smitty's going to crush it this year.
So the crazy thing about Dynasty is Eli Stowers and Sadiq are battling right now in mock drafts of who the first tight end off the board is. So fantasy nerds at least have him very, very high. I'm just saying the 1 year $7 million contract is what jumps off the page for me. Like,
no, that was him getting strong armed. So he was probably worth like 9 or 10 millions, maybe like some of those ones that were up a little bit of a level, but like he wasn't getting a long-term deal from other teams. So why not stay comfortable in a scheme that, well, it should be exciting that players you know. So like I wanted them to re-sign Goddard. I'm happy they re-signed Goddard. I think Stowers is definitely a year away. I'm not saying like I'd probably take Sadiq just unless has he looked terrible? Like,
well, he hasn't been on the field. He has hernia surgery, so he's out for.
I'd rather have that than the negativity that's been surrounding Stowers and OTAs. So if you're doing Dynasty today, I'd take Sadiq. I'm not fully out on him. There used to be a time when tight ends regularly needed a year or two to develop. This could just be that type of guy.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep an eye on Eli and see what happens with him. But moving on to the Giants, targets. My top two guys are injured, but I still will target them. Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbo. My third guy is kind of the guy I like the most, Isaiah Likely. If you're reading all the reports, he's definitely Dart's favorite target so far, and that's to be expected. Young quarterback really likes throwing to tight ends and dumping it off to running backs. Darnell Mooney, I like super late. Tyrone Tracy as a handcuff, and Jaxson Dart as a backup. I'm fading Darius Slayton and Calvin Austin. I just feel like they're kind of in the muck of all this stuff, and I'm avoiding all the washed up wide receivers that the Giants decided to add, including OBJ, Braxton Berrios, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Literally a non-factor, and a big reason for that is my dynasty guy, Malachi Fields. I feel like he's going to be the number 2 at the end of the day. He's going to go high in dynasty drafts, and I think he should. Last team. The Commanders, targets, Terry McLaurin, Jayden Daniels, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, Rashad White, late, Chigakwanko, late, fading really no one. I'm avoiding Treylon Burks. I know that he had kind of a flash of the pan end to his season, but I think it was a fluke. Dynasty, I really like Antonio Williams, the wide receiver. There's got to be a reason why they haven't added a wide receiver yet, and I think that he might be the reason why. And also Katron Allen, he is currently the running back 3 on the roster, but I think anyone can kind of match up with Bill at this point. So that's just why I have him on the list. I know we were kind of low on the Commanders as a team, but you guys have any additional people?
Do you guys think Luke McCaffrey can jump in there and make some noise?
I got to tell you, I bet on Luke McCaffrey. No, 4 different times I bet on this guy. He went 0 for 4. Yeah. Like, all I need him to do is catch 2 balls. I think 2 of those times is like a 4th leg on the parlay. And the guy was like, I'll do 1. I'll do none.
Yeah.
So too inconsistent for me.
Yeah.
I could see New England trade Booty to the Commanders by like August.
It's not a bad idea.
Or add Debo back off the street. So that is actually Milo's favorite wide receiver is Booty because he puts bananas up there. So anybody else for the Commanders? No one for the Commanders.
No, all right,
so
It's all about Bill.
Just
All right.
slander.
Slander's great. So next week is the big shebang. We'll see who's been keeping track of their win-loss records on paper and who is giving everyone 9 to 10 wins to Aura Farm on YouTube, Alberto, who won't be on the show probably, but we'll talk in his haste. He's doing it on purpose. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna go 1 through 32 about all our standings. We're gonna go over our playoff picture and our early Super Bowl matchup and winner. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. You can follow us on socials and audio platforms at WaiVER CLaiM Show, YouTube at WaiVER CLaiM. Hit subscribe and help us spread the word. Hit us up. Let us know what you like and what you don't like. Everyone seems to be liking when we talk about their team and pumping them up. So we'll keep doing that if we can. I apologize to the Dolphin fans this week. We tried. Until next week, this has been WaiVER CLaiM. WaiVER CLaiM.
WaiVER CLaiM.
WaiVER!
WaiVER CLaiM! WaiVER CLaiM! Under in the state of green. Yeah, we play that game. This is WaiVER CLaiM. Under in the state of green, from the draft board to your screen. Who you start? Who you fade? Who you ride all week? Human mind versus the mainframe. We decide that speak. Yo, it's Rich with the picks, got the board on lock. Sunday slate, money line clock, tick, tick, tock. Sleeper in the slot that your league don't see. Turn the bench spot boy to a big time fee. Chris with the tape, he's the frame that thinks. Ask one question, watch it blink, blink, blink. Got data, got charts, got a slide side eye. If the robot wrong, then we both gon' fry. Okay. Craig on the mic, baby face, big talk. Walk you through the spread, do the chalk outline. Walk from the mock to the prop to the live in game. If you scared of the sweat, why you press that name? MILO the mainframe spits out plays. Human gut check, call that fade. Binary brain meets barstool brag. Either way we cash when we plant that flag. This is WaiVER CLaiM. Under in the state of green, from the draft board to your screen. Who you trust?